Hi friends, welcome to my video. In this video, we are going to see about the difference between aerobes and anaerobes. Oxygen. Oxygen is both beneficial and poisonous to living organisms. Depending on the influence of oxygen on growth and viability, bacteria are divided into aerobes and anaerobes. Let's see, what is an aerobe? An aerobe is an organism that requires oxygen for growth and can grow under an air atmosphere. Aerobic bacteria are capable of utilizing oxygen as a final electron acceptor and converting into water. The ability to utilize oxygen as a terminal electron acceptor provides organisms with an extremely efficient mechanism for generating energy. Next, we'll see what is an anaerobe. An anaerobe is an organism that does not use oxygen to obtain energy. Anaerobes cannot grow under an air atmosphere, and for anaerobic organisms, oxygen is toxic. We know that anaerobes cannot grow in the presence of oxygen, so they depend on other substances as electron acceptors, and their metabolism is a fermentative type, and their end products may be organic acids or alcohols. Up to this, we've seen that aerobes requires oxygen for growth and anaerobes cannot grow in the presence of oxygen. Next, we'll see about oxygen toxicity. We know that oxygen is both beneficial and poisonous to living organisms. It is beneficial because its strong oxidizing ability makes it an excellent terminal electron acceptor for the energy yielding process known as respiration. Respiration is a cellular oxidation process. Oxidation is a process in which an electron is removed from a molecule during a chemical reaction. However, oxygen is also a toxic substance. Aerobes have developed protective mechanisms that greatly mitigate their toxicity. But anaerobes are deficient in these mechanisms and are restricted to habitats where little or no oxygen is present. Before saying about some important factors related to the oxygen toxicity, let's see about free radicals. Free radicals, atoms and molecules that have unpaired electrons are called free radicals. Those containing oxygen are more specifically referred to as reactive oxygen species. The unpaired electron in free radicals destabilizes them, making them highly reactive. Living organisms creates free radicals through the normal process of metabolism. We learned what is free radicals. Let's see about some important factors related to the oxygen toxicity. Oxygen inactivation of enzymes. Molecular oxygen can directly oxidize certain enzymes, resulting in enzyme inactivation. For example, the enzyme complex known as nitrogenase, responsible for nitrogen fixation, is irreversibly destroyed by even small amounts of oxygen. Damage due to toxic derivatives of oxygen. In biochemical reactions involving oxygen, highly reactive molecules are formed, such as superoxide radicals, hydrogen peroxide, and hydroxyl radicals. Superoxide radicals. Various cellular enzymes catalyze chemical reactions involving molecular oxygen Some of these reactions can result in addition of a single electron to an oxygen molecule, thereby forming a superoxide radical. Or otherwise we can say superoxide radicals are produced by the one electron reduction of molecular oxygen. Superoxide radicals can inactivate vital cell components, but they also involved in the production of even more toxic substances such as hydrogen peroxide and hydroxyl radicals. Hydroxyl radicals. Hydroxyl radicals are among the most reactive free radicals and can damage almost every kind of molecule found in living cells. Hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is not a free radical, but it is a powerful oxidizing agent that is highly toxic to many kinds of cells. In biochemical reactions involving oxygen, highly reactive molecules are formed which cause harm to the organism. In order to combat the effects of these molecules, bacteria have enzymes that convert free radicals into safer form of oxygen compounds such as water. We learned what is oxygen toxicity and about free radicals. Next, we are going to see about the free radical detoxifying enzymes. Superoxide dismutases. Superoxide dismutases converts two superoxides into hydrogen peroxide and oxygen. By this, superoxide dismutase eliminates superoxide radicals. The catalase and peroxidase enzymes dissipate the hydrogen peroxide. Catalase converts hydrogen peroxide to water and oxygen. We should note one important point here, that is, the elimination of either superoxide radicals or hydrogen peroxide can prevent the formation of the highly dangerous hydroxyl radicals. Aerobes possess enzymes such as superoxide dismutase, catalase and peroxidase, and anaerobes do not possess enzymes to convert free radicals. Thus, they cannot survive in the presence of oxygen in the surroundings. Aerobic organisms have developed various protective mechanisms against the toxic form of oxygen, and anaerobic bacteria have either no superoxide dismutase or only relatively low level compared to aerobes. Another reason might be that obligate anaerobes possess essential enzymes that are active only in the reduced state. Next, we are going to see about classification of bacteria based on oxygen requirements. On the basis of oxygen requirements, bacteria can be divided into 4 different categories, namely obligate aerobes, microaerophilic bacteria, facultative anaerobes and anaerobes. Bacteria that require oxygen to grow are called obligate aerobic bacteria. Microaerophilic bacteria. Microaerophilic bacteria are bacteria that requires little free oxygen or oxygen at a lower partial pressure than that of atmospheric oxygen. Facultative anaerobes. Facultative anaerobes are bacteria that can grow in both the presence or absence of oxygen. That is, if oxygen is present, it makes ATP by aerobic respiration. If oxygen is absent, then it is capable of switching to fermentation. Anaerobe. An anaerobe is a bacterium that does not require oxygen to survive. The anaerobes, which are further separated into 2 classes, obligate anaerobes and aerotolerant anaerobes. Obligate anaerobes will not be able to survive when oxygen is introduced in their environment. Aerotolerant anaerobes do not need oxygen but survive even when oxygen is present, but they cannot use oxygen in their metabolism. So these are all the difference between aerobes and anaerobes. Finally, we are going to see about pathogenic anaerobes. Pathogenic anaerobes. Anaerobic bacteria are widely distributed in nature in oxygen-free habitats. Many members of the human flora are anaerobic bacteria. For example, human colon contains large populations of anaerobes. Anaerobic bacteria are potentially pathogenic if displaced from their normal habitat. Anaerobes multiply well in dead tissue if oxygen is excluded from the tissue, when the local blood supply is impaired by trauma, obstruction, or surgical manipulation. Oxygen concentration diminishes and develops a habitat that supports growth of anaerobic bacteria. I am concluding this video here and see you soon in my next video. Thank you, friends.